we spoke on what healthy relationship must involve, and today we are going to be talking about abuse and understanding what abuse is, and 8 types of abuse. I'll be giving you just 8 types of abuse. You know, there are different kinds of abuse. There is physical, there is sexual, and there are many more. But I need you to understand that abuse can happen in different forms. So I'm going to give you a list of the kind of abuses people actually go through, and some of them they actually do not know are abuse. Number 1, we have the physical abuse. You know, the physical abuse could include eating, punching, you know, kicking, slapping, strangling, physically restraining someone against their will, making someone feel unsafe in any type of way around you is a physical abuse. And then there is sexual abuse. You know, sexual abuse, people just think it involves only rape, but it's more than rape. It's any forced sexual act, either kissing, forcefully kissing the person, forcefully hugging the person is also sexual abuse. Objectifying someone is a sexual abuse also. Did you know that verbally saying someone isn't good in bed, or someone is too good or lax, is a sexual abuse? You really need to know a lot of things about sexual abuse. It also has to do with unwanted or rough or violent sexual activities, refusing someone from using condom, or restricting someone the access of birth control. Sexual contact with someone who is very drunk, drugged, or unconscious. Threatening or pressing someone, you know, to have a sexual abuse, to have a sexual related act with them is a sexual abuse. Forcing yourself on someone when the person has obviously said no, whether the person is fighting back or the person is letting you, as long as the person says no, it is a sexual abuse. Using sexual insults is a sexual abuse. Forcing yourself on someone, which I said before, or forcing them into prostitution or watching pornography is a sexual abuse. Withholding sex as a form of control is a sexual abuse. This goes out to mostly married people, those who withhold sex from their spouse just to be in control. It's a sexual abuse. Restricting someone access to birth control is a sexual abuse. Then we are going to talk about verbal and emotional sexual abuse. Humiliating, criticizing, threatening, shouting, making another person as the object of joke is an emotional or a verbal abuse. The emotional or verbal abuse is actually a very broad, you know, abuse. It goes into different angles. Threatening to harm someone, or they will harm themselves because of you, is a sexual abuse. Is an emotional or verbal abuse. Abusing or unhealthy behavior, making you feel guilty, is an emotional or verbal abuse. And then there is the mental or psychological abuse. Mental or psychological abuse is often involves making the victim doubt their own sanity, making the person doubt whatever you have said or whatever you have done. It goes in the light of gaslighting. Gaslighting is an example of mental and psychological abuse. Gaslighting is making someone doubt their sanity, if what they've seen is right, or what they've heard is right or wrong. When you put them in a state whereby they are not sure anymore about what they heard you say or what they've seen you do or did, is an abuse. And you know, lying and denying, it's also under gaslighting, you know. And then there is financial and economic abuse. This goes to when for example, you decide that you want to do all the budgeting in the house, not having the next person who is with you or living with you access to cash is also an abuse. Withholding cash from the person is an abuse. You know, not letting the person get a job, or running into debt and putting the debt onto the next person is a financial or economic abuse. Cultural or identity abuse, where one person does not respect the culture or the race or religion or spirituality of the next person, It is an abuse that mostly gets people confused about what they believe in or their faith, or put them into anxiety or depression, or have them so little to speaking out in public about what they believe or where they stand. It is an abuse. There is disability related abuse, making victims of objects feel criticized or belittled, especially when they were born with a disability, or when they've been through a traumatizing accident, and you make mockery of them and you say it's a joke, or you laugh about the fact that they have just one arm and you say it's a joke, or you laugh about the fact that they limp or walk one particular way and you say it's a joke. It is a disability related abuse. And the last one we're going to be talking about is an academic abuse. There are people who tell people, oh, you study too much, oh, you read too much, oh, you do this too much. It is actually an abuse to tell someone they study too much, or they study too less, or they know too much or know too less. It is an abuse to make someone feel like whatever they are doing is too much or not enough, or you withhold somebody from going through school, or you make somebody feel like their idea of going through school is a terrible idea. It is an academic abuse. With that, I am going to be teaching you how to set boundaries so that you do not get abused in different ways. Boundaries is a limit of what you can take and what you won't take, or when you feel like you are violated, then you know that you need to start setting boundaries. How to set boundaries is telling the person you are not feeling comfortable with their behavior or whatever they have said to you. Setting boundaries, for example, if someone calls you and pleads with you to come spend a night at your place, and you are a person who would love your privacy, you do not have to inconvenience yourself so the person can be comfortable. You can politely decline by telling the person, oh, I am so sorry, now is not a good time, I am not in the position to help you or to house you for now, maybe we could revisit this some other time when I am able. Explaining to someone that they share with you, what they share with you is very disturbing, or it affects your feelings or emotions, is you setting boundaries and protecting your mental health. It's protecting your emotions. Telling someone you do not want them to repeat the current behavior, i.e. gossiping about your friend, or gossiping about you, or talking about you, or telling somebody something about you which is not true, is you setting boundaries. Not letting someone help you when you didn't ask for the help is you setting boundaries, especially when it makes you feel less of a person, or tensed or uncomfortable. It is you setting boundaries. What to do when you feel like someone has crossed your boundaries more than once, more than twice, and you've repeatedly told this person. You can let the person know that you will not put up with that attitude, and you can also let the person know that leaving is an option for you. You do not have to stay in an environment where you feel abused, tensed, or uncomfortable in any way. Tell them the consequences of what their actions would be. Let them know that you have an exit plan. If they act this way again, you are going to walk away. If they act a certain way you are not comfortable with anymore, you are going to walk away. Also, do not justify, or do not let them justify the reason. Let them know that once you are uncomfortable, it is mandatory for them to simply apologize. They do not necessarily need to justify the reason to why they have acted in a particular way, as long as it doesn't meet up with your standards. Explaining and oversharing, you do not need to be interrogated. You do not deserve to be interrogated. Remember to stay strong and be respectful and calm while you express your boundaries to this person. Do not insult, do not be violent, do not be feisty. Always learn to be calm while you express how you feel to the next person. And with that, this is going to be the end of our topic today. So on our next episode, we might be talking about signs that you need to know when you need to leave a relationship, an abusive relationship, or an abusive friendship, or even an abusive relationship with your parents, with your guardian, or your friends, or your siblings. Thank you very much, and do have a lovely day. Bye.